Recently, the watch market has surprised even the most experienced watch collectors and experts, going as far as being compared to the Bitcoin boom in 2017. The insane increase in value of some luxury watch models in the past couple years is mainly attributed to certain factors that caused this boom in resale prices. One reason for this, of course, is the increase in market demand. Since many years, we see all these artists, rappers, musicians, actors wearing luxury watches along with flexing their iced out chains. Lots of people see these artists as their role models and get inspired and are now interested in acquiring a timepiece for themselves. Another factor is YouTube or social media in general. If you look up a watch brand on YouTube, you will right away see a bunch of videos of people showing you how they purchased their first luxury watch. Additionally, you see a lot of resellers who resell watches on the so-called gray market that already created their own YouTube channels to promote their business and sell products. This attracted many people to the watch game. Many new collectors entered the game. In the past couple of years, people have found a liking in collecting, whether it's NFTs, trading cards, or a bunch of other luxury goods that are in demand. Apart from this, a lot of people want to live this luxury lifestyle that you can see on a lot of people's Instagram or TikTok account. Many people show off their luxury lives, driving Lamborghinis, wearing expensive jewelry, and most of them also have a Rolex watch. Due to this, the demand in the market increased rapidly, and even though brands like Rolex produce a lot of watches every single year, they just couldn't keep up with the demand. However, you never know. This might also be some type of market manipulation where they chose to not produce more watches in order to boost this hype. Obviously, we all know what happened in the past couple of years in terms of global events. A lot of production or delivery chains got disrupted due to this, and even the production of many products stopped for a certain period of time, which also affected the watch industry. After all, the watch market is kind of like the art market in general, or you could even say the NFT market, where participants might not really need professional training or licensing and can just buy and sell goods by setting their own prices. Additionally to this, there's also the aggressive promotion of brands that promote their products through social media, through influencer marketing, or similar things. One example for this would be Richard Mille, where a lot of incredible artists were shown on TV or online wearing a Richard Mille watch. These watches increased in value tremendously, sometimes having an increase in value of $50,000, $100,000 or even more. Obviously, if you have followed the news, you probably noticed that inflation is also rising. Lots of people try to refrain from keeping their money in their bank accounts and allocate funds to different locations like the stock market or luxury goods such as watches. Therefore, the displays of authorized dealers, for example for Rolex watches, often were empty, or when entering the store you were told that they did not have any models available for sale. If you, for example, wanted a stainless steel sports Rolex model, you would likely have to pay a large premium and be forced to acquire it in a secondary market. The only other option would be to possibly having to wait for years. Therefore, if you want a proper sports Rolex model, you might easily end up spending more than $15,000. And if you want a stainless steel Daytona, probably more than $40,000. These models are extremely popular, and therefore there are wait lists with possibly many people signed up for a single watch, where a dealership might only get a couple models if anything. This results in many people signing up for a wish list or interest list or waiting list, whatever you might want to call it. And let's say there might be 50 people signing up for a steel Daytona model that might cost you like round about 14,000 retail, and that is being sold for like 40,000, upwards of 40,000 on the secondary market. Why? Because if there are 50 people signed up for a waiting list and there's only one watch coming in every single month, well, it might take 50 months for everybody to get a watch. Therefore, obviously, also jewelry stores or authorized dealers might prefer long-time customers or customers that also spend money on different products like jewelry. If you follow watch or jewelry auctions, you might also realize that bids on older Rolex models easily reach into the hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. But it's not only Rolex. There are also other brands' watches that skyrocketed in value. If you want to buy a watch and resell to make money, you probably would stick to Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, or to some extent some other limited edition models, for example from the brand Omega. This resale insanity went as far as a Patek Philippe Nautilus in the Tiffany blue colorway being sold for more than $5 million at an auction just earlier this year. Now you may be asking yourself, hey, how can I profit off of this? And you should be warned, things often sound simpler than they are in reality. First of all, not all watches have decent resale value. There are watches being sold for, let's say, $10,000 that have only $6,000 resale value. But on the other hand, there might be, as I already mentioned, Rolex models being sold for $14,000 retail and being resold for more than $40,000. Now, if it really would be this easy, probably everybody would run into the Rolex boutique buying a watch and selling it off for $30,000 profit. If you really want to make money with this, you probably want to check out the Rolex website and go to different watch resellers or websites like Chrono24 to compare prices and get an idea on what the market situation looks like. However, you should always be aware that the listed prices might not actually be the prices that the watches sell at. You know, I can ask for $100,000 for a Rolex Datejust, but probably nobody would buy it, right? I'm planning to release an in-depth tutorial on what Rolex models to look at, what watches are really attractive and have high resale value. So definitely stay tuned for that. Leave a like and a follow. I'm sure everybody can make a couple $1,000s if they really put in the time and effort to learn about this market. I will see you in the next video.